Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here. Welcome aboard. And today we are continuing our quest line through the story and between A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word. And I'm excited because we're like midway through the post ARR patches. Had to turn down my mic a little bit here. All right. One of my FC mates talking about saying, high chance I will die in this place. I'm curious to see what they're doing. All right. Let's see. When last we left you, we were at Dark Words, Dark Deeds, level 50. In an effort to weed out any enemy sympathizers within the ranks, Lord Drillmont ordered a covert evaluation of all stationed in White Brim Front. One man in his service is thus identified as a possible... One man in his service was thus identified as a possible heretic, though these suspicions have yet to be confirmed. If the suspect is indeed in league with the heretics, Lord Drillmont believes he will attempt to warn his allies of the impending search operation. Observe the man as he reports to Sir Jean Tremont in the yard and discreetly track his movements. All right. So we're going to do that after I send my retainers out. I like to send my retainers out pretty regularly because it helps them level up. Militia robe. What's that even look like? Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Kind of shiny blue there. Okay, I do want a quick exploration. Yep. I must have sent them out on a 1 hour and then I didn't get back to it. I like to send them out overnight on 18-hour ones because they level up even faster. Eye of the Wind Stone. I'm going to mend my stuff real quick, too, just in case. I can't remember if I mended it before I left you off last time. All right, everything's good. All right, let's go to Kurthus. Thought that was me on my bike. Because it looks just like mine. Let's see, we want to go... Oh, I forgot I can fly. It's a good thing I went up here and did that. Oh, puppy, I know you do not have to go OUT. You just came in from a very long time outside. I want to refresh myself on what these guys had set up here. Plus, I get to talk to Sir Emmerich again, because, you know, he's my heartthrob. My hubby. Papa Cat Gamer said the other day, if I simped over girls like you simp over the boys in this game, you'd be mad at me. I said, well, they're not real. Elfino says, the third and the Temple Knights have begun their search. All that remains is to wait. Okay. Drillmont. If the suspect shows himself to be a heretic, we will deal with him accordingly. For now, we shall merely observe and mayhap profit from his treachery. Taciturn Temple Knight. They haven't given her a name yet. See how the skies darken. Even the weather is against us. Emmerich. Sending his forces to Whitebrim Front prior to his own arrival? Your commander is certainly decisive. Hang on, I gotta readjust my position on my phone so I can actually see stuff. Okay. Oh. My FC mate is in one of the very high level dungeons. Like, I think it's one of the expert ones, which is like level 100. And yeah, those are really challenging, especially if you're doing it for the first time. They got some great new mechanics, and they're a lot of fun, but sometimes they're hard. It's just like going, I don't know what's going on. There's like 15,000 things. It's really hard to keep up. It's kind of like trying to keep up with a toddler and a baby at the same time, you know? Yeah, basically, if you can handle a toddler and a baby at the same time, you can handle these mechanics. But it, like anything, it takes a while to learn. All right, let's eat the eggs. Oh my goodness, I'm running low. I need to get some. I think I was crafting stuff last time I was on here. Merchant and Mender, I wonder if he has food. I don't want to run out. I do not want to hear it, puppy. You are just fine. So our job is to follow this guy, and sometimes you have to, like, tag along behind them, but not really let them see you, which can be hard sometimes. Okay, the suspected heretic leaves through the southwest gate. Okay. I guess we're supposed to follow behind here. I don't know. If I were a soldier, I'd probably be looking around as I'm going out into a combat zone. I'd be kind of hiding out. Now, I certainly would be keeping an eye out for anybody following me. You'll notice there's some hiding places up here. You can hide behind trees and rock outcroppings and stuff like that, because periodically, if it's like what I remember, periodically he'll turn around, and if you're standing out in the open, he's going to see you and you have to restart. So, my rule of thumb is if I'm really close to an area that I think I might need to hide behind, I go hide behind it, because he's probably going to turn around shortly. I've failed this a few times until I kind of figured it out. Suspected heretic follows the road east. Oh, this one we might not have to worry about it quite as much. Now he's heads south. Okay. I'm going to ignore that fate. Fortunately, I'm level 61 now, so I can afford to do that. I don't automatically spawn them when they come in. Hey! Hey! Where in the Seven Hills are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall. Why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Suspicious Curthin says, your sole duty is to the... Huh? Bloody echo. Lower your voice or they'll hear you. Lower your voice or they'll hear us in White Brim Front. Yes, of course. The Temple Knights are in Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already know about mumble mumble. Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels, mumble mumble. Dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, mumble mumble. If you waste my time again, is that clear? All right, let's go back to Drillmont. We have to report into him. Let's see, what exactly did I hear here? What's it say? From a distance, you observe the suspect meeting with a robed man. Although you cannot make out the entirety of their conversation, it is clear that the stranger is one of the heretics and that the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves are already known to them. Worse, it seems that the heretics have formulated a plan to prevent the Allied forces from completing their search. Though quite what role the tunnels in Boulder Downs will play, you cannot say. Perhaps Lord Drillmont will be able to make sense of things. Oh, wait. I bypassed it. Trying to fly to Ishgard a little early, I think. Really want to get there. Heavensward is one of my favorite expansion packs. Heavensward and Shadowbringers. It's just fantastic. The other ones are really good too, and I've enjoyed them all. But some are definitely better than others, and those two are fantastic. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation and confident that they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out and put to the sword. Do I want any of these items? I don't know, let's see what they look like. Ooh, bye. That's that's a no right there. Those are like crazy. I mean, if you really like funky, fun glam, you can do that. If you like high heels, this might be a cute little pair. I could see my one of my female tunes wearing this. She'd look cute in it. First Blood. The allied forces at Snowcloak are in danger, and Lord Drillmont would have you assist him in ensuring their safety. Drillmont says, we have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow this to happen. A contingent of House Durandare knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Halonia is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Gav. The lives of our allies are at stake. Rendezvous with House Durandare. Okay. I'm kind of sorry to interrupt your meal, guys, by driving over them. Okay, we fly south. I think I have to go in this tunnel. Just wanted to see what was down there. All right. I see the purple danger. Let's pull out our chocobo. You can give them 2 Geishel greens at a time, and it'll let you keep them out for up to 60 minutes. Each Geishel green is worth 30 minutes. Don't go past 2 because you'll be wasting them, because the timer won't go any above 60 minutes. Oh my. Who do we want to get rid of? Let's get rid of this guy first. Hateful Harrier. Helps if I target him instead of myself. Fallen Heretics effects. Deliver the parchment to Drillmont. Okay. Oh, there's nothing to fly there. Okay. Kind of appropriate that we're in snowy Kurthus today because we're expecting some snow by us. And since I live in the south now, where we have a whole 6 snowplows in our county, we're expecting everybody to buy milk and bread today and freak out tomorrow. I can drive in it, but when you have like no snow removal equipment, anything above a few inches just shuts everything down because people can't drive through it. Drillmont, my knights sent no word of your coming, Gav. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Brittle parchment, it says. Discovered on the body of a slain heretic, this yellowing document is covered in a complex code of seemingly random letters and numbers. By the Fury! Those were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Ugh. Their bodies must be recovered and... No, we have not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not of sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable is not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durender must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. The path of the righteous. Lord Drillmont recognizes that the situation in Snowcloak is coming to a head and that decisive action must be taken. Time is of the essence, Gav. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them naught if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn, but all is not yet lost. If you leave now, there may still be time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emmerich everything we have discovered. To Snowcloak we go. Driving over kitchen tables. I want to make sure I was taking the right path. Oh, this is one of my hunt log guys. Okay. I'm gonna kill him right now. Hopefully we'll get him in time. I think we will. The reason I stopped and did this now instead of going on is because he doesn't spawn all the time. And, taking advantage of it. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Got him to 15% now. I knew he was a hunt log because he's got this icon above his head. Or above his name, I should say, not above his head. Yuhasi to say, Gods bless whoever designed this uniform. I would have frozen to death by now if it weren't for this greatcoat. Elfino. Sir Emmerich, he's over there. Have words with the man if you must. We shall speak anon. Taciturn Temple Knight. We are at a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. Stalwart Temple Knight. How could any man hope to tunnel through the ice this thick? It would be the work of years. Maybe. Gav, this is a welcome surprise, perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Leveilleur been informed? The Braves must be made aware. What else has he got to say? If Helonia is kind, we may chance to espy our foes in the act of emergency... Gotta try this again. If Helonia is kind, we may chance to espy our foes in the act of emerging from their tunnels. It would be most useful to know where they lead. All right. It must be there. Sorry, let me try that again so I don't flub up the lines so bad. Oh my god. Elfino says, It must be here. I am certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Probably a good dozen or two or three. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Heretic says, Come here, girl! Ida says, That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Elfino says, Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Yu Yuhasi says, Commander Leveilleur. There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels. after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that is not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. Papalima says, a moment, Alfino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we entered the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Ahem. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever the tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many or Papalimo will sulk. All right. We don't dare make him sulk. Does Alfino have anything else? We will hold the line, Gav. You may concentrate on the task at hand. We are at a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. Emmerich says, I am informed that Commander Levair has asked you to lead a party down one of the tunnels. A characteristically daring proposition, yet I can think of no one better qualified for the task. I bid you good fortune. I could never dream of being anywhere near Emmerich's wonderful voice acting. Voice actor's voice. Stalwart Temple Knight. The entrance to the tunnel, sir, it's just over there. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. Per Sir Emmerich's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. Alright, Snowcloak is now accessible. I'm not sure if I can do it with, oh yeah, I can do it with a party of NPCs, so let's do it. Let's do it. That way we can watch all the cutscenes. We don't have to worry about delaying anybody else who's probably done it a million times. Make sure I have an egg. It'll be a little bit slower than it would be if we go with a party of players, but I think the instant queue versus offsetting would be better. Dragoon, Thaumaturge. Yeah, I'll stay on Dragoon for this one. The Thaumaturge is a ranged DPS. And I think my Dragoon does a little bit more DPS than my Bard. This is such quiet and gentle music for what is turning into a martial adventure here. Alright guys, let's go. This is no time for sightseeing, my friend. I think he's sneezing on us there. Oh, great. We gotta watch out for things falling on us now, too. These guys actually aren't too bad. Ordinarily, I would have them pull a little bigger. Oh, he's going to pull bigger. Okay. But I don't know the capabilities of these companions are, you know, they're not the best. You can only do so much with, you know, computer programming. Can't anticipate some things like live human beings can. And I think they have the minimum gear for level 50 rather than some of the higher tier stuff. Okay. He drops a little key, which he's now standing on top of, or laying on top of, so you kind of have to keep an eye out. You have to get the key to open the door. Door to silence. You know, I forgot. I forgot this fight was like literally right after this. Or I would have saved my cooldown. Ah, well. Not bad to use it for an AoE for a nice little bunch like that. All right. Not bad. Bloody balls. Feared I'd slip and break my neck. The Scienthometer says, "Thal's bloody balls, all that ice." Apparently, Koji Fox, the guy who translates the Japanese into English and localizes it for us, apparently convinced Yoshi P to name the god Nald into Nald Thal, just so Koji Fox could have a swearer of Thal's balls. I think I saw that on some video somewhere, interview with him. That was fun. Oh good, the AI has programmed him to get out of AoE damage. See these winds blowing across here? They will do constant damage if you're standing in it, so you want to get past it. Although I don't think our guys are going to be getting out of it in time. Come on, guys, don't stand in the wind. Pull them down into the snow. Or the frostbite there. Thanks, guys. Fortunately, this doesn't do too much damage. Be mindful of its arms. Okay. I went ahead and used out limit break here because I think we might actually get one back by the time we get to the final boss. Okay, we need to move out from each other on this one. So you want to move away from the bigger one here. We're taking a little damage there. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. wonder how many poetics I have. Ooh. You're capped at 2,000. I have 1,450. We'll get quite a few when we finish up here. Crimthurs? Is that how they pronounce that? A dead end? No, not really. We got stuff falling on our heads again. Snow collapse. Okay. Kill this Downy Avis. Or Dove Avis. Okay. I don't know why I called it Downy Avis. Dove Avis. You want to kill this Harrier as quickly as possible. Oh, we lucked out there. We really lucked out there. 'Cause they turn into, they turn into another Dove Avis if you don't kill him in time. Alright. Good job. We did it, guys! Okay, now we gotta pick up this Finger of the Apostates. That's just kind of disturbing. It's like, ew. Door to Oblivion. There's a little mini pet pup Fenrir that's really, really, really cute. We are gonna hide behind one of these pillars here. I'm gonna get out of that. Now we want to hide behind the blue one. I'm actually going to stand out here because you have to get it'll spawn a circle. See how it spawns that circle? And it's really hard to get out of in time. Apparently they're immune to whatever the freeze is on it. My kids just came home. I'm gonna go back and hide behind this one. My kids brought me home some Starbucks. I love the Cafe Mocha, but the Cafe Mocha calories don't love me. We made this New Year's resolution to try and, be healthier. So we're doing that. We're doing a lower carb diet. Not super low, but, low carb. All right. Trying to see if I've got anything else going on here. Anyway, so she brought me home a sugar-free latte thing, which I'm giving it a try, and it's pretty good.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good.
Many, many have said that over the long history of man. We do something evil for the greater good. Never ends well.
For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
All right, what do these all have to say? Even knowing what to look for was easy to miss, and the covering of ice didn't take long to reform either. How many more tunnels like this might there be in Snowcloak? Come to think of it, how many might there be throughout Kurthus? That's a good question. Emmerich says, though I did not doubt that you would return, I am nonetheless relieved to see my judgment validated. 'Tis a blessing you are still with us. Commander Levailleur took to pacing in your absence. I bet he did. Wonder what Yuhasi has to say. Is it finished? Does that mean we can leave this godforsaken place? I can't feel my, forgive me. I should not keep you from Commander Levailleur. I don't want to know what he's freezing. That took longer than I expected. Oh, thanks, Alphino. It's like, hey, I just come from, like, killing a shit ton of people, and you go, that took longer than I expected. What news, Gav? So, Iceheart is but a pseudonym. Not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight with the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it, too. 12 be praised, Gav. We may yet turn this situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianger have been busy perusing the archives of House Fortin, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you are intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Sure as well, put some more clothes on, man. You got uniforms for your entire Crystal Braves, and you're out here wearing an outfit that has your entire midriff exposed. So how many times do we moms say, put your hat on, put your mittens on, put your scarf on? And of course, we kids, you know, we're lucky if we get our hats, gloves, and scarves on. For the greater good. Though not given to small talk, Alphino can think of no better way to pass the time until Minfilia arrives. Antecedent, who is, by the way, dressed in more appropriate clothes for this weather. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Fortin. I trust your time has proved used fruitful. Would that it had, said Minfilia. Urianger and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet, in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortin. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. Elfino says, You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war served the greater good. Minfilia says, I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. Emmerich, I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander, says the Temple Knight Herald. Elfino says, You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sir Emmerich. It's like... And Emmerich just gives him a look like, what the hell do you know, kid? It's like, how much experience have you had leading men into battle? 2 seconds? Compared to my decades? Elfino says, Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Haloni that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? Emmerich says, There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and scripture tells us only so much. Elvino says, Would that it told us more. Elfino says, That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. Welcome trade at the negotiation table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Minfilia says, Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I, too, remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real. A living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mogulmog XII, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mogul's Guard. Elfino says, Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have them both in abundance. Minfilia says, "Can that truly be all that is required?" Elfino says, "My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the aetherite Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another aetherite somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this secondary aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists." Well, I don't think she would teleport herself into, a dead end. She couldn't get out again. Minfilia says, "Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us." Elfino says, "I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. A long time." While Minfilia looks into our aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The 3rd unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Kurthus is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you in case you were not aware. Good. I knew you would understand. Yu Hase can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilberd and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. Probably not, but, it is what it is. All right. See if they have anything new to say to us. Harry the enemy when he is entrenched, retreat from his advance, and attack his flanks when he withdraws. Iceheart is no fool. Emmerich says, the network of tunnels throughout Snowcloak is extensive. A full survey will take time. Temple Knight says, 'Tis not a matter of training your eyes, I fear. Without foreknowledge or serendipity, we will never find every tunnel. The very land conspires against us, the broken ice ever reforming to conceal the entrances. Yuhasi says, There you are, Gav. Commander Leveilleur instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the third hail from Ul'dah. For a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand, nary a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danafin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you could join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I did not earn my coin. All right, we can fly over to that direction. Oh, the 3rd unit brave looks little bit in distress there. Balls, my ankle is on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Danifin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Go on without me, Scion. I'm in no condition to run. Just follow the fresh tracks. Ugh. How can anyone run in this blasted snow without knowing what's underneath? Well, you can't. Not all the time. Of course, you could say the same thing about sand or water and any number of other things. This is a tunnel we gotta run through. I believe we were here not too long ago. Fresh prints. The tracks lead southeast. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scale beast and Yu Hase? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. I just need a moment to catch my breath. Just a moment, sir. I'll be right behind you. Not too sure about that. You know, I think my bard is level 61. I'll stay on my dragoon. Embarrassing, says Yu Hase. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice that they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Well, why don't you go with me to the observatorium so you can get healed up in safety? Suspicious Kurthan. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with these bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with him then if you think you'll fare any better. No, no, there's no need for that. Yugiri says, there are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it is drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong, says the merchant. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all, says the suspicious Kurthan. Fancy meeting you here, Gav. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither. What a tangled web, lest you wonder we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Yugiri says, Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead in the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills of which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. It's shades of the movie Taken. I have a very particular set of skills. Alphino says, that is a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri, and one which I would gladly accept. Yugiri says, thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far and shall always be watching. Alphino says, a comforting thought. Come, Gav, let us wait inside for Captain Ilberd to return and deliver his report. Alphino says, Captain Ilberd seems confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say, given our adversary's cunning. I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Alphino is eager to hear Ilberd's report on the Ivy. Wonder what these look like. That's an interesting outfit. That's tank. That is very roughly, okay. That's for a Lancer, Reaper. It is very, I bet that's for a Bard. No, it's Gloam Tabard for scouting gear, basically. Alphino says, Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Ilberd says, aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on, says Alphino. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ? From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortin. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. "I think I can guess which one," says Alfino. "None other." With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. "Well, that is one mystery solved, at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask?" "I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed." Elfino says, "You mean to say that the agent is among Rauban's innermost circle? Someone who's been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment?" Ilbert says, "'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years." Ilbert says, I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Uldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa, Laminza, and Gridania have long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldaz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Rauban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the costs, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Alfino replies, "Indeed. And given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company." Ilbert says, "A good deal easier than now, aye." Alfino says, "The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Neo Van Darnas's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would have never risked supplying Rauban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Ahem. Returning to the present." Ilbert says, "Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long." Alfino says, "Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies." "Understood, Commander." Alfino says, "I shall send word to Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians." Ilbert says, "It is time, Commander." Alfino says, "Yes, I am aware." An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Gav. As the realm's stoutest champion, 'tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent. lest you worry. Okay. Like me, you are doubtless eager to continue our business with Iceheart. But until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nafika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Yep, hubby just sent me a text message. I gotta answer that one real quick. Let me attend to something real quick. Gotta love it when family stuff interrupts you in the middle of a stream, but it is what it is. I mean, that's when you have a family, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think we will take a quick few minutes break, okay? Give me about 5-ish minutes, and then we will return to the fun, okay? All right, and we are back from our break. Okay. Tendrils of Intrigue. The Council of Alliance Leaders will convene at the Lotus Stand in Old Gridania. Alphino bids you join him at Nafika's altar prior to the meeting. I'll go back to New Gridania. Actually gonna go to the Shaded Bower real quick. And I'm gonna pick up some eggs while I'm at it. Sipahi shirt. Thank you. My daughter was bringing me back a thimble. Yeah, everybody should learn some basic skills in life, right? There's a Mama Cap gamer tip. You need to learn how to do basic car repair. You need to know how to change your tire. Okay? You need to know how to check your oil and the other fluids in your car. Because they don't just stay magically at the same point. Need to know how to do some basic cooking. Okay? You need to know how to wash your own clothes. Right? And you need to know how to address letters and write letters. All right? It's not the same as sending off a text to somebody. Also need to know some basic finances. Okay, so you can run your household. All right? Even if you're a household in one, you want to run it responsibly. Need to know how to write a resume, because you never know when you're going to need one. Okay? Even if you get hired at a new job, always have your resume ready to go for the next one in case something happens. Sometimes life gets in the way, God forbid. And it may not even be the employer's fault. Like, you could have a major disaster that wipes out a business, for instance, and suddenly you're looking for a new job. God forbid. And you need to know how to write a check. A lot of people don't know how to write checks anymore because we hardly ever use them anymore. But it's a good skill to know. Anyway, if you have more ideas for tips on important things for people to know as a basic skill, put them in the comments. I'd love to see what you think is important. Because I think I'm sure I've missed a few. Culinarian. Okay, I can get more eggs here. Just buy a stack of 99. Oh, yeah, the other thing was my daughter brought a thimble back, which made me think of that. You need to know how to do a little basic hand sewing so you can, fix some hem on your pants or something like that. It's not hard. There's plenty of YouTube videos on basic stitches and how to thread a needle and you know, stuff like that, how to use the thimble. Always use the thimble. I got taught this by this 92-year-old grandma of my former fiance. And she made me use the thimble at her house. She would not let me sew without it. Because I was making Renaissance costumes at the time. She said, you have to protect your fingers. And she was, you know, she was a very wise woman. And I started using a thimble, and I've used one ever since. And she's right, because I sent a needle, the back end of a needle, into my thumb one time, and it took forever to heal because it'd gotten in pretty deep. So learn to use a thimble. It's not hard. All right, when you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the lotus stand. Oh, he said, my thanks for coming, Gav. Okay. What does the Ilbird have to say? Unlike Raban, politics is not my cup of tea. While you and the commander attend the council, I will attend to some business on my own. The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Yeah.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Oh my.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So, young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new Emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it.
Ooh. It's curious because, Alfino this is a Sharlayan, and they're very much pacifists, so it's interesting to see that he's taken a more bellicose view on things. Although, to be fair, he does advocate for peace.
If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
I've only played through this one time before, so I've forgotten a lot of these little details, like Emperor Varus ascending to the throne and things like that. Alfino says, "It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Laminsons, for instance. Though Admiral Merlvib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, the Gridanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldans scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldan society, Telegiata Lege, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the Observatorium, Captain Ilberd has further shortened his list of suspects, and by a happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Gav. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilberd near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Alright. Let's go back there. Gotta eat my eggs. Wonder what he has. Oh, okay. Lieutenant Scarlet would ask your aid in investigating the resurgence of a primal. Well, if it isn't the Slayer of Ramuh come to see me in the flesh. How fortunate that you should happen by. I was, in fact, on the verge of sending a runner to track you down. We've had some troubling news from the Sylphs of Little Solus. It appears that the Lord of Levin walks the Twelves Wood yet again, and from what I understand the Elder Seed Seer's explanation, your last encounter with the primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one for which Ramuh did not begrudge your victory. Why then has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Gav, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Phrixio, the Sylph Elder, would discuss the matter with you personally. Speak first with Delexia in Little Solus, and she will announce your arrival to their leader. Ah, and I would also consider it a favor if you would pass along aught you learned to the Scions. As I understand it, Archon Urianger is a keen scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make your final report to him. All right. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Let me get this for... I'm going to put it on my retainer. Put a bunch of this in my retainer. Just to make up space here. Haddock dip? Oh. Let's see what these look like. Well, that's definitely a bard outfit. Okay. Yep, it is. That would probably look good on a red mage if a red mage could wear it. This is a healer one, I think. Yeah. Actually, it's not too bad for a healer. That looks kind of good, actually. That looks like a court jester. Oh my god, look at my tail and back. Holy cow. That's disturbing. I think that's a no-go there. I don't want my tail sticking up and back like that. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all the time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Royale, Raban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest-ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monetarist did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Rael was approved to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the ivy has some hold over the monetarist? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the immortal flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Rauban attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She's up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go then. Take care not to alert our quarry. I don't know, you know. Royale's never been anything but loyal in our presence, at least in the past. Could be she's looking for the ivy too. I don't know. Royale is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Oh, speaking of... Alright, let's buy a few items here from the tombstone vendor. I think I was in the middle of buying some magical ranged items. Don't need the earring. Can use that. All right. Even if you can't use the items on your current job, you know, pick them up for future jobs. At some point, I'm going to level up a summoner and red mage, so I'll definitely use it for that. Ilberd! So Royale has entered the Carline canopy, meeting someone perchance. Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray, look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Euphemia is her name. I shall remain here in case Royale reappears. Or she just might have gone to take a nap in the inn. Who knows? Euphemia, Gav, Tia is such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Forgot what the blue quest is here that Nojiro has for us. The house that Death built. Oh, okay. No, I don't want to pick that one up yet. Some things you put off until the very last moment, so that's going to be one of them. I'll have to do it eventually, but yeah. Nowhere to be seen, you say, and you're sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost! How could I forget? Peddler, greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Moontoy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait. That necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. My God, let me start this over. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. Should I take that one? If I ever level a healer, well, at some point, because I plan to do every quest, which means I have to level the healers too, even though I hate playing healers. Gilbert is eager to resume the pursuit of Eileen Royale. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest you follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweetbloom Pier. Wonder if Mother Mune has something to say. Small talk. Greetings, Gav. It is a pleasure indeed to welcome a living legend to my humble establishment. Is there aught I might get you? Some tea, perhaps? Or maybe some of my eel pie? Oh, yuck. Be a pleasure and an honor, both. All I would ask in return is that you regale me with a story or two before you journey on, that I might share your tales of glory with those who would follow in your esteemed footsteps. Oh, well, that's nice of her. Meet with Ilbert at Sweetbloom Pier. Alright, we gotta go to the Lancers Guild. In flagrante delicto. Caught in the act is what that means. Usually applies to catching somebody in a compromising naked position, you know. Trying to keep it family friendly. All right, let's go to Sweetbloom Pier. Oh, there he is. Thought he was farther ahead in. I hate it when I turn off my mic and forget to turn it back on correctly. Alright, let's go back to that. Yurigiri says, "This way, my friends, your quarry makes for the Hawthorne hut. If Royal is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there." Ilbert says, "An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royal would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elizan are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not likely to turn any heads." Yugiri says, "As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with the mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their attempts." There it is. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch Royale in the act. Speak with Yugiri near the Hawthorne hut. Hilbert says, "If Royal was here, she is no more. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit." Yugiri, my people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. Hilbert says, "The Ivy returns to the Gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with the Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends." All right, let's go to the Bramble Patch. Just beyond, Royal is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an Imperial intermediary, no doubt. "This is it. With me," says Ilbert. And of course we all nod. Flame Marshal Eileen Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then? Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Oh, she knows something. That look she gave him. Even a warrior of Royale's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Gav? So the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray, do not let me keep you. Fear not. My countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your efforts here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of the shinobi? You have the aptitude for it, I believe, so please give it some thought. Till next time, my friend. I believe you can pick up the ninja class at level 20? As long as you have another job at level 20. And you pick that up in Laminza. All right. Since we're out here, I'm going to speak with Elder Frixio. Delexia. Walking One is here. Has Walking One heard of Lord Ramuh's return? Then this one does not need to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Walking One is most welcome in these one's home. The gentle sighs of winds and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with Lord Ramuh. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramuh was pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrow-shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touched ones have summoned Lord Ramuh once more, and this time with an offering of many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One means to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramuh made a special promise to Walking One. If it is the intentions of Touched Ones that concern this one, Touched Ones yet act in fear and in hate. Even should Lord Ramuh ignore Touched One's destructive wishes, his presence alone drains the land of ether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm that Thunderous Ones threatens. Life will seep from the soil, crops will wither and die. Then, though Lord Ramuh will it otherwise, Walking Ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs brave and courageous one to fight again. Touched ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile. That Thunderous One respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you. This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One knows how to visit the striking tree, touch the aetherite found in the domain of touched ones, and Walking One will soon be face to face. Then Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Ramu. These ones will listen to the forest's voices for news of Walking One's victory. We'll soon be face to beard with him. Unfortunately for Gav, Ramu's beard is way better than his. Alright, we'll do a quick flight up there. I think, unable to do glamour plates there. Okay. Fine. When I'm in conversation, the pauldrons on Ceramic's outfit really block the view of Gav's face. And so you don't see his expressions nearly as well. So I need to change the outfit, but I can't do it unless I'm in a city. The duty finder has been updated. Okay. Let's speak with Minfilia. Yugiri promises to attend to the aftermath of your hunt, leaving you free to report your recent adventures to Minfilia back the Rising Stones. With the Doman's aid, you have apprehended Aline Royale in the act of meeting her Imperial contact. Well, we don't know for sure it was an Imperial contact, because it didn't say it was, so... Her guilt is now surely beyond dispute. Speak with Yugiri to hear her thoughts on the mission. We already did that. So, I'm going to go back to Mordona. See, do we have any recommended gear? Okay, we're good there. No new blue quests for us here. I think we did them all, or picked them all up at least. Let's see if they have anything new to say. Higiri says... Thancred's tales of Lady Yugiri almost beggar belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Thancred says, yes, but Higiri, you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who... A rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly we are fortunate to count Lady Yugiri a friend. Thancred's going, no, wait, it was a team effort. Wait, I didn't know Tataru could juggle. Just picked up new skills all the time. Papalimo says, she cannot seriously be considering it. Life as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. Tataru's grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. Steady, steady. Not bad, eh? And with a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. Don't quit your day job, Tataru. Ida. I could do this all day. All day. Who? Ha! I cannot go on much longer. Don't worry, it's a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but this unyielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. Hose on. I must admit this exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having the desired effect. Of entertaining us? Sure. Strength, Hori! On your honor as a scion, I forbid you to surrender. The things we do in our spare time, I guess, in Scion headquarters. Minfilia says, "Welcome back, Kev. I understand that Elfino had a task for you. May I ask what it was?" Charges of treason and espionage against Eileen Royale? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Bacon broth. Oh, that's kind of cool. Desynthesis skill gain. Reduced durability loss. Actually, that might be handy if you're desynthing a lot of stuff. Because it takes a long time to rank your desynthesis skill. You really don't only need that. You don't really need to do that unless you're into crafting. Because it takes a long time. I started doing it on Tyrius, and it takes a long time. I've been working on that one for months. Minfilia, a simple plan. Minfilia has never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystals she stole from the House Fortong caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint. But if, as we suspect, they seem to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Wait for the carriage outside Revenant's Toll. Alright, it seems that Minfilia's claims of progress on the matter of finding a way into Iceheart's sanctuary are somewhat premature. After a lengthy discussion with Urianger, the antecedent has concluded that the Scions and Revenant's Toll lack the expertise to develop a solution and must therefore turn to another for assistance, a Charlian colleague who is en route to Mordona. Minfilia invites you to accompany her to the northern gates where she intends to greet the newcomer's arrival. Hello, everyone. Let's go see who our mystery visitor is. Minfilia says, "What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before via Link Pearl, of course, but it is not the same."
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and to thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar, and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
See what Moonbreeder has to say. For an outpost in an ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss, says Minfilia. Can't get over Tataru juggling. It's just hilarious. All right, let's just take a quick moment to check on something. Let's move on. Moonbreeder. Is that Tupsimati on the wall back there? I'm amazed you managed to find all the pieces after, well, you know. That is the name of Louisoise's weapon.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Oh, Iceburn Papalimo.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
Picks him
Come
up.
all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oh my.
Go on.
Thagrid.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing Aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate a second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the etherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
All right. That was fun. That was fun. Minfilia, the instruments of our deliverance. A plan has been devised, and Minfilia would have it carried out without further delay. I have already informed Alfino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeda described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, Gav, and that I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. Do you have anything else? Moonbreeda is a brilliant and dedicated scholar. I would not have endorsed her plan were it not so. Oh, that's good. I love picking up all these little additional tiny little bits of lore, talking to these NPCs after they have conversations. Oh, everybody's changed position. They probably have something new to say. Fleming says, over the years, I learned that it's better to busy yourself with things you can control rather than worry about things you cannot. A hot meal will be waiting for you when you return. Understood? Fleming saying, you will eat dinner when you're done. Quite right, Hori. Yet I fear we two alone will not resist a Quite right, Hori. Yet I fear we two alone could not resist a full-scale assault. Mayhap we had best draft a plan of evacuation should the worst come to the worst. Hori says, it falls to you and I, Quiltene, to ensure those imperial dogs set no foot in the Rising Stones. The tragedy of the Waking Sands must never be repeated. I see Tataru's given up on her juggling for a little bit. I shall pray for your safe return, Gav, yours and the others. Thank you, Tataru. And prayer always helps. Higiri, Doari and Hozan are about to take up their post. It seems even the children are starting to understand the gravity of the situation. Doari says, I'm ready. Hozan, are your preparations complete? Hozan says, my father has agreed to take care of Yozan for me. The children need role models, and we must do whatever is in our power to provide them. All right. Speak with Alfino at Snowcloak. I'm not sure why I even left the building. I didn't even need to. I could just pour it out of there. All right, Camp Dragonhead it is. clouds for our weather today. And scenic Kurthus. I don't know about all you, but it has been cold by us. Like cold. They're lucky not to be up north. I saw that, like, up in the Dakotas, it was like 30 below zero. I went, better them than us. My apologies to any Dakotans. Okay. Stalwart Temple Knight, 'tis not a matter of training your eyes, I fear. Without foreknowledge or serendipity, we will never find every tunnel. The very land conspires against us, the broken ice ever reforming to conceal the entrances. All right, he hasn't changed anything. Moonbrita says, trust in the power of White Orsite, Gav, and in me, of course. I like Moonbrita already. Good to see you, Gav. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Oh, come on, Alf, like we'd ever have second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Eileen Royale in Ul'dah even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the Ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. After you, Scion. There. It's ready. Ha! It worked. I think. Try attuning to the Aetheryte now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. Elfino says, we have done all we can, Gav. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Have I unlocked something? Moonbrita says, I have a mind to join you, but Urianger made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently, the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I'd give her the chance. Oh. Urianger has a sweet on Moonbrita. Evino says, we cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this, quote, saint, I cannot say if our strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbrita's experiment, But others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Ha! Before you assemble the party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Alfino continues, of all the myriad challenges you have faced, I should be amazed if it were a failed teleportation attempt that finally killed you. Pray, do not surprise me. Warrior of Light, done in by a piece of rock. Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Tia, the Warrior of Light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Haloni bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. All right, Akafa Amphitheater Hard, now available. I'm pretty sure that I have to do this with a party of other people. So let us queue for it. The text says, for as long as their nation has warred with Dravania, there have been Ishgardians who instead choose to ally themselves with the dragons. Shiva is said to have been among the first, hence why the heretics revere her as a saint. That Iceheart and her followers intend to summon Shiva with the crystals they have stolen his plane. But is this unprecedented act even possible? If so, then Ishgard, if not the entire realm, is in grave danger. All right, let's queue. Average wait time, 5 minutes. I think I will go back to Limsa while we wait. All right, let's see. While we're doing this, we might as well check out the timers. So these are turn-ins for the Grand Company. Get your seals. Oak Patents. Can't buy those. Ygritte Delabra. I'm going to have to look up that word now, Delabra. I have no idea what that is. We got a moment. Let's look up what a Delabra is. I'm dying to know. The Delabra is a versatile axe used by the people of Italy since ancient times. The Delabra could serve as a pickaxe used by miners and excavators, a priest implement for religious slaughtering of animals, and as an entrenching tool used in Roman infantry tactics. In the 1st century AD, at the siege of Augustodunum Haedorum, I don't know how to pronounce that, armored Gallic gladiators were defeated by legionnaires wielding Delabrae. Gnaeus Domitius Corbulo said, quote, "You defeat the enemy with a pickaxe." Oh my. All right, so it's an axe. Oh, I got to pop.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
I love this music. It's so great. Move that out of the party there. If you have too many to stack together, it does massive damage. Fun to see who she steps on there. Saw how she put the circles down? You have to kind of keep an eye on the order that she did that. Step into the last one when she spawns. Oh, I didn't get to give a comm to anybody. They left too soon. That was a nice quick one. Well, somebody gave me a comm. That's sweet. Thank you to whoever did it.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. . You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
That's a new Ascian. Does our Temple Knight have anything? Nope. Moonbrita says, "By the 12, you're alive! I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be?" Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you, and it's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough, I was only asking. Moonbrita remains unconvinced that you have not sustained a head injury. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. Ah, but before that, you'd best pay a visit to Whitebrim Front and speak with Alfino. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and hearty. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? No reason. See you again soon. Head injuries are nothing to mess around with, folks. You gotta take those seriously. Hope the Ishgardians don't mind me riding a horse into their stronghold here. Oh, goody, more to talk to. Drillmont. I still remember the first time you entered these chambers. Suffice it to say, I never imagined that I would one day be so glad of your return. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Oh, we've earned Drillmont's, respect. Temple Knight. 'Tis customary to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. She's going, why the hell are you talking to me? You should be talking to Elfino. Emmerich. That you stand here now is proof of your mission's success. Praise be to Halone. Oh, good. We'll take whatever divine help we can get. There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. And we tell the whole story in 5 seconds. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. Emmerich says, but not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have Gav to thank. Elfino says, yes, you're right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. Emmerich says, I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whatever it takes, days, weeks, months, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillmont, is the caravan ready? Drillmont says, the supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Emmerich says, of that I have no doubt. Elfino says, I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortong caravan? Emmerich says, less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of what... Let me try this again. Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. On an unrelated note, Gav, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray, do not think less of him. Alright, does Drillmont have anything more? I trust you will not discuss the events which transpired at Snowcloak too openly. The heretic is dead, and the lords of the high houses know of your deeds. That is what matters. There you go. Speak with Horshafawn at Camp Dragonhead. See what it says there. Elfino's voice swells with pride as he asks you to recount the events of Snowcloak. Though he is disappointed and concerned by Iceheart's success in summoning Shiva, Sir Emmerich advises him to take solace in your victory. As further comfort, he reveals that some of the supplies stolen from the House Fortong caravan have been recovered and will be delivered to Revenant's Toll forthwith. The Lord Commander then requests that you accompany him to Camp Dragonhead, as it seems a certain lord has been praying for your safe return. Alright, let's go to Camp Dragonhead. What does Elfino say? If our business here is concluded, we should attend to Sir Emmerich in the intercessory. Horshafawn. What were you thinking, Gav? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory that might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete a ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then, engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, Gav, 'tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. Oh, but you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alfino in private. He waits us in the intercessory. Somebody said something funny to me in chat that I don't think I should repeat here. Some things are not appropriate for more family-friendly fare. I am going to eat another egg. Make sure this is still running just fine, and we are. All right, I'm checking where we are real quick. We might or might not finish this up today. Depends on how much time I have. Greetings, sir. I will show you in at once. Proceed to the intercessory. Bless you.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
This is why an experienced politician can run circles around a newbie.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
Alphino's discovering a few things. The sarcasm there. It's great.
As we are to you, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them.
Well played, Sir Emmerich. Well played.
I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Yes, you did, Horchefang. Horchefang, sorry. Keep adding the H in there. Eyes unclouded. For one with reason to celebrate, Alfino looks rather grim. It would seem we have much to discuss. With our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine, then, if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we would well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Gav, it is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Yeah, maybe not say anything in hearing range of a whole bunch of people who shouldn't be hearing it. If there is one thing that can be said for Sir Emmerich, it is that he understands how dangerous knowledge can be in the wrong hands. We are but fortunate that this incident took place in so remote a location. The truth should not be too difficult to suppress, for now at least. I wonder if I can go in there. Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside? Sure. Let's see what's in there. See if Emmerich and Lucia have anything to say. My knowledge of primals pales in comparison to yours. Nevertheless, the circumstances surrounding this particular summoning are unique, no? 'Twould be most unfortunate if they were reproduced, I should think. Right, what does Lucia say? One tailors their tactics to the enemy. In our case, Dravanians. Primals will require a somewhat different approach. Ever spoken like a true warrior. What they got over here? Oh, booze. So this is what they keep in the intercessory. For church purposes, of course. Alright, Mordona. Here we come. I'm going to take a quick break. I am going to turn this off briefly and restart it because I found that OBS can be a little squirrely when streams get too long. So I will be back in about 5-10 minutes.